Hello everyone, today I'd like to welcome you to my 5th tutorial with Style3D. We will be creating the 3rd version of the Barbie dress. On the comments below you will find the link for the website where you can download from here the studio and get 3 months free trial to basically practice your skills and also register and showcase your work among all these amazing designers. As we did on the previous 2 tutorials, you will have a link from my first tutorial where we created this denim dress. And following, when you create this dress, the whole idea is that basically from one block pattern, you can make it. We're making 3 different versions of dresses inspired from the Barbie film. This is the inspiration image, and here is the color palette that we will be using. The link for this dress will be provided also below on the comments for the first tutorial. And on this tutorial, we will be creating this dress from the first tutorial. This is I keep only the core, the basic. I took off the under layers, and from what I see, I'm gonna have to take off also the straps for this dress. I'm not gonna need the straps, so I delete the straps. I file save as, and I will save this project on the 5th tutorial. Okay, firstly let's change my avatar. As I mentioned on the previous tutorials, we have the library here, the source library. To change the avatar, we go here and change the characters. When you just download the software, you won't have all these options. Your options will be much less, but going here into the library, and when you are on the avatar, you go to the theme, the cloud, you download all the assets, and including the character, motions, shoes, poses, hair, anything related to the avatar. I have already my selection, so I'm gonna change this avatar to Naomi. I want to change the hair. Same happening with the hair. You do exactly the same. I'm gonna add this hair. Okay, and I want to change the shoes as well. Same happening with the shoes. Just make sure when you go to the library, you open the shoes and then you basically go to the cloud. I'm gonna use these shoes. I'm gonna change the color straight away on my shoes. Texture, I delete the texture, I don't want to have a black, and then I go here and make them pink, and also I change to silk. I want to change my hair color as well, and I will go and make it also pink. Control S, I save my project, what I've done so far. Also I want to merge some panels. I don't want to have on the sequence so many cuts. So I'm selecting these 2 lines with Shift, press Shift and select both of the lines, right click and merge. I also want to change this to curve point and to convert to curve point. I don't need this dot here. I do the same on these panels. I select this line, Shift, select this line, and I merge. I don't need this point, I'm gonna just delete it. So here I am, file, save. Now next I like to straighten my dress and press simulate. Okay. And next I want to move those lines because I'm gonna make it way much shorter, the dress. I get the pen and I draw I need to make it shorter. Maybe why not? Because we're gonna have the feather, so that will have length. I'm gonna have to make it super short because it's gonna be covered afterwards. Next, just cut. Take off, delete those panels. I'm gonna need to take slightly, but panel inside, so it's not overlapping with my pleat. All right, next I'm gonna go and create another panel that will be approximately here. All right. Select the lines, right click, cut and sew. So that will be my panels. Now I'm gonna need to let's simulate and put that panel up. Now I need to bring the sequin fabric. When we go to the fabrics, we go to the substance and we get the sequin generator. Double click, comes to okay. So now those panels, I need them. My front, top, back. I forgot to add this is my waistband. This is my skirt. So my skirt will be assigned to pattern. I want it to be sequin. I select all my panel, clone as a reference line so I can see what I'm doing, and then I'm selecting those 2 points, shift, and I take it slightly down. Maybe I don't need the shift here, so I can take it parallel. My zip now need to be 3 centimeters shorter than what it is now. So we go and change this to 28. Now let's add new tape to the avatar. Now let's attach avatar to the tape, the garment to the avatar. Double click so it gets green, and same here, double click, and same here, and double click, and here, and double click, stimulate. So now it's attached. Alright, I select the top part and assign to pattern and make it sequin. That's going to be okay, and silk. That's going to be generate lining inside. I want my waistband to be double, and I also want my waistband, actually I should have done it earlier, I want to be bond. The property editor, bond, we click here, and now when you stimulate, you see how firmly and nicely the waistband taking a different complete shape. I'm gonna make that also double. Generate lining inside. I want to change my zipper as well, the color of my zipper. Assets, zip. I select, edit zip style, and okay, teeth. Pink, sorry. Okay, I make everything pink. Color, pink. Alright. The other thing I need and I want to do is also to add at the center back, add also this stripe 1.5 cool cut and sew, and I need to make this assigned to pattern, and all the panels assigned to pattern. Do the same, shift, I select all the panels, fold, assigned to pattern, and simulate. Great. And also I just noticed that I lost my center back seam here, so let me add that, oops, that and here and here. And for some reason, I think I need to delete this little. Okay, and let's see my seam. It's not completely comes to the end. There's a little gap. That's it. Simulate. Beautiful. So now next, let me see my top stitches. Okay, I'm gonna change the color of my top stitch as well. Make it pink. Done. Now let's save what we've done so far. And next, I want to work on my sequins before we go to work on my ostrich feather. What I notice now, although I make this panel smaller, when it's stitched, it's still stitched all the way up to that panel. So I need to make this little change because here I'm 4/3. I'm gonna delete basically this seam, and now from here, this is gonna go up to here, and then this panel will go up to here, and that will change and bring it out. You see? That's it. Now let's work on my sequins, and then following we go to work. When you select the sequin fabric on the property editor, you can play now with the sequins and change the shape, the color, and the structure of the sequin. I'll show you what I done for this dress, but you can play around at the property editor and create fantastic things by yourself as well and experiment. Unfortunately, the writing is in Chinese, so you will have to a little bit try and test the things around. So this is the base shape. Make sure your resolution is high because that depends how your sequin will be showing, how sharp it will be. And custom parameter, this is the random seeds. For my dress, I went to the maximum here. Then on the base shape, you start to change the shape of the actual sequin. And here I kept the first line here, and here I start making the changes. That's gonna change the shape of my sequin. 0.74. This is after like testing and finding what will be suitable for me for the particular dress sequin that I created for this dress. You can do anything. So you see how the sequin shape is changing at the moment, and 25, and here we go 12, and this is the shape I wanted to use for my sequin. Here I went 83. 0.81. Change this color, the blue, to pink. Okay. And this is going to be 0.91. 18. 0.66. That's gonna brighten now my sequins. And here we have the displacement map. I put it 5 here and 2, enter, and then following we have the reflection, which I used it to 0.75, and here side light 0.65, but I will check that as well later. Also, the technical parameters, we have this ambient light that we actually can choose a color Maybe I make it pink also. Next, I want to change this black base that I have. So on the technical parameters, I change this pink, the lighting, and I go on the first one, and I found this texture to use. So that's gonna be my base. You can upload any fabric color, whatever you like to have. That's what I use. I also noticed that depends on my grain line. You see my sequence going into different directions. I like to fix that. So I'm gonna go to the edit texture, and I'm going to change. So now let's go and create my fur. One thing I like to do is, because I don't want my inner panel to be also fur, I will have to make a little cut here. Let me see where, okay, somewhere here to here. Sure, I select those two panels and I delete remove link editing. So that means that what's happening to my one panel is not going to happen to cut and sew to the other one. Copy that panel. That I think I had it plastic. Also, I don't want to see my my fuse, my bonding. And the other thing I want to do is to change a little bit this texture. Assets, edit texture. Here, I want to make it smaller. All right. Next, that's gonna be my fur. Fur. I select those panels and assign to pattern. I select this panel, this and this, the top panels, and assign to pattern. So now here, while I'm on my fur, I'm gonna start making my adjustment. First of all, my render type will be fur, and it's visible on the render only. Now I'm gonna start to change. Let me open my offline render sync, just so I see what is happening. Alright, now we're gonna start playing. So on the parameters here, I'm gonna move to the fur shape and I'm gonna make the changes. I want it to be 120 length. I want to be the thickness 2.5. Enter. Blend 40. Here maybe 180 my density. And segments to 18. Let's see what I have done. What do we have here? Sync. And let me see what we have. And now I go to the variants and I put 1 and thickness 1 and direction also 1 and gravity 0.5. Enter. And now let's go back to sync. And here we go, we have our ostrich looking like a feather. Next, I think I want to change a little bit this color and make it slightly lighter. I think. And maybe add this color to the palette. Okay. And do the same here. Okay. So let's add my pose now. We're going to the library. Avatar pose, and this is the pose I used. So I press simulate and I double click on my pose. And she is transforming now. I like to stop. I'm gonna have to change slightly. Bring the hand. And one by one. I think the fingers are a little bit inside her dress. that's it. Okay. We're done with my pose. Now let's add my scene. I open the library, I go to the scenes, and I used for this dress this scene. I double click, open. Here we go. Now I want to change also here the colors. I think. Okay, and I made it shining. I will change that to change the floor to pink, and I delete the wood. I want to change this also. Now when we add the scene, we going to tools, offline render. So now what is happening on this particular scene, the frame is set to be on this size. We're gonna have to change it. I'm gonna use the frame that I'm using for my rendering. You can have different size. You can just change it here on the property editor. I also want to change my rendering noise, and ideally I go up to 10. Rendering quality high. Let's sync to see what we have here now. And also I created for the rendering I did previously, I had a headpiece that we haven't created yet. I stop for a moment here. Well, basically what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna first find my ideal rendering frame before I make any other changes, and I will lock this view. Now I stop, Control S, I save my project, and I'm going back here. Firstly, I want to create this moon that I done on my first rendering, and then we will see what is happening with my sequence. I'm selecting the fur and I'm going home, rectangle, and right click, I put the dimensions. Let's make it 4 centimeters, and no, width will be 28 and height will be 4. Okay. I'm gonna add halfway dots, and also I'm gonna move that side here, and I'm gonna move that side here, just to create a little convert to curve, convert to curve. Nice. So let's go a little bit smaller here. Okay, let's pick that and add my arrangement points here, and go here on her head and go like that. Curved. Let me see what I want to do. Maybe like this better. And let me see on the rendering what is happening. Okay. Tools, offline render. And also I see my fur is going inside. I want to flip normal. So my stop and start again. Okay. So now we're ready to go for our rendering. So I still have this darkness. I think what I done on my previous rendering, and it did work, it was to, okay, those panels, offline render, okay, sync, and what do I have? I have this panel, I have this and this panel, and I will make it flip normal, and I will see that my panels that flip normal. And let's sync now. So I'm gonna delete this light because I think it's unnecessary. At the end, it doesn't really work. Let's make the rendering here. So we finish our rendering. Let's see what we've done. This is our final image. And here the tutorial comes to the end. I want to thank you all for watching this tutorial. I'm gonna be looking forward to see the results of your work. So please, if you do so, tag Cn8 Digital Fashion and Style3D. Subscribe to be updated on the following tutorials that will be coming. Follow us on our social media channels. Links you can find on the comments below. As I said, the original dress we used to create this Barbie version is from the tutorial 1. I recommend you, the link you will find on the comments. I recommend you to watch the tutorial 1, download the dress, then following start making the new versions of the dress that are on the tutorial 3, 4 and 5, the 3 different versions of a Barbie dress.